I was together. I don't hear my own voice, but I got water in my ears. So that was too loud, too low. A few years ago, together with a bunch of the Chevra, we were zeicha to make a minyan for Avdan Segel. Now, the way it works to be mishtatef in this holy, the guys can hear Avi. It's loud enough. I have liquid in my ears, and I have no idea if I'm screaming or whispering. So, but I do know Rav Joey is here, and that I'm excited. Welcome, Rav Joey. So, a few years ago, we were zeicha to make a minyan for Avdan Segel. The way the minyan works is you don't know if it's going to start Vasikin or it could go anywhere till 9:30. About 9:30, Vasikin, it was a summer, pretty early till 9:30, and they weren't sure. He's doing achanos, he's preparing for davening, and he's in his room, and when he comes out, he'll run to the shul, and then you daven with him. And it was a 3-hour. We're from Durham. This doesn't scare us. It would be weird if a yid could just daven the same time. He's preparing. One day he's ready this time. So it made sense to us, coming from Durham, wanting to be, you have to go to minyan, but you have to be there. So he wanted to be there. So this was his minyan. And we were waiting for him. We got to meet a lot of the people who are around Avdan Segel. There's a yid who's my Rebbe's nephew, who's not zeicha to eyesight. He doesn't have the great gift of sight. He's one of the most beautiful yidden I ever met in my life. And he was waiting there, amongst others, to watch this yid daven. And we saw him preparing for tefillah. Wherever Rav Dunn goes, this yid comes often. And we met the most beautiful yidden we ever saw in our life. Just the yidden who surround Rav Dunn, and the chevra was amongst the guys who came with that type of yidden. So part of the honor of being close to Rav Dunn is you meet the yidden that are close to Rav Dunn. Tzadikim draw tzadikim. And to be around the tzaddik is to be around the people that tend to be drawn to such a tzaddik. That's how it works. That's the way it is. The same gather of mitzvah, gereres mitzvah. Holiness draws holiness. It's magnetic, and holiness draws holiness. So to be around in Durham, you see people come to yeshiva, the most incredible. We were zeicha, Chazan came to yeshiva the last week, and he sang Friday night, Leil Shabbos. That's the chevra. Tzadikim draw tzadikim. That's how it works. That's just how it is. And I want to say about our kesher to Rav Aryeh, who were zeicha to be friends and talmidim of Rav Aryeh, and to say just, it's a serious time in all our lives. The last period of the year, guys traveling, it's not my own mind. We're in a serious place to lose a friend like Rabbi Oberlander. We're in a place where words are more measured, thoughts are more exact. And to be around Rav Aryeh is a schus gadol. To be around a neshama like this. I'm seeing friends different now, and to be around a soul like this, who's a ben Torah to the core of his being, who's kind and is about chesed and about all the right things, is a schos gadol. And I want to say that the people we meet, Ramesh, you popped in like a neshama comes here playing a violin, just listening to a soul walk in, another soul, and this is what I've seen around Rav Aryeh. Nothing like surprises me, the beautiful souls. I don't know how they know each other, how long, when he flew in, but around Rav Aryeh, beautiful yidden show up. Sincere, and you're all included in that. The chevra's included, moyos included, around Rav Aryeh. It makes sense, the moyos. That's how it works. Avi, that you're close, these aren't, we have to stop being shallow. These aren't like coincidences, no such things. There's the hand of God, good people, and sincerity and good souls draw more good souls. And around Rav Aryeh, the good ones show up. good people, mivakshim, sincere people show up. So I want to thank Rav Aryeh for being an incredible person for us to be close to have a shaykhus to, just a tremendous appreciation to a very big and sincere and good person who drew us good people to his midst, amongst them us, good people are drawn to Rav Aryeh. So we thank you for that and for the friendship. Thank you so much, Rav Aryeh. I wanna share something with the chevra that I don't know if will come out right. I'm gonna try. The Sfas Emes says a vart. I'm not here to tell you a vart. I'm here. I want to talk truth. The Sfas Emes says we know there's a stira. There's one pasuk in the Torah that says that the kruvim in the Kodesh Kodashim looked at each other. There's a pasuk in Divrei Hayamim that says that the kruvim were pneim el abayis. They looked to the walls. Ask the Gemara a contradiction. Says the Gemara, Bizman sha'osim ritzaynei shel makayim, when Yidden were listening to Hashem, the kruvim looked at each other. Bizman we weren't osim ritzaynei shel makayim, they looked away from each other. But the Sfas Emes explains deeper that when we weren't osim ritzaynei shel makayim, that they turned away. It says pneim el abayis, they faced the walls. Says the Sfas Emes, when we weren't serving Hashem, we were a chitzonius, we were a klipa. We were the external, we had the Beis HaMikdash, but not the pnimius. We had the structure without the essence of the thing. So I ask, pneim el abayis, they looked to the walls, means we had the structure of Mikdash. What's the essence of Mikdash? Pneim el abayis is the structure. And we weren't doing Hashem's will, means externally we were Yidden, but we didn't have the thing itself. We had the trappings minus the thing. So what's the thing? Pneim el abayis, they look to the structure. We had all the structure, what's the thing? Friday night, Leil Shabbos, we stood 200 souls, stood in front of the Waterbury dorm. There was love. There was connection. No jokes. You can't set that up. You can't create that. You can't artificially ask, you stand here. Nobody set that up. Nobody. 200 people stood for hours. Biyadidos. There was love. There was love. People felt close to each other. There was acceptance. There was validation. People were good there. Guys walked out of the dorm and stood in that circle, in that mush, in that group, in that igud. They stood there feeling wanted, feeling noticed, feeling important, feeling connected. That didn't happen on Shabbos. That is Shabbos. That is Mikdash. That is a connection with Hashem. That's what it means. A guy stood there and could say, I don't know Shabbos, I don't know Hashem, I just know I love every guy in that crowd. I feel wanted, here I feel noticed, here I feel validated, here I feel that the difficulties others care. That is Shabbos. That's the essence. The rest is the tzura that allows for the chaimer. There's water in here, and there's a cup that holds the water. If you don't have the cup, we're all just soaked. You need the chaimer and the tzura. You need the tzura as that which holds the essence. But there's an essence. The essence of Shabbos, like the essence of Mikdash, pneim el abayis, the Mikdash and Shabbos. What the Mikdash is in place, Shabbos is in time. It's a place of closeness to Hashem. Kirvus Hashem is there, a soul is wanted. Klal Yisrael's the Mekadshei Shvi. We, each of us, are wanted. Every Yid, every bar none. Every Yid, there are no types of Yidden on Shabbos. There's no such thing. They're only the Am Mikadshe Shvi, the entirety. Every Yid is from the Am Mikadshe Shvi. There's nobody who's not noticed. We've said many times about Yerushalayim. Nidche Yisrael Yechanes. Here, even a Yid who might be pushed away elsewhere, here every Yid is wanted and noticed and needed and important. Pneim el abayis is when we're not oisim ritzaynis shel makam, it's the chitzaynis. So what's the hepich? Pneim ish el achiv, looking at each other, the noticing of a Yid, the love, the warmth, the care. A neshama here lives, a neshama here matters, a neshama is noticed. That scene Friday night, Leil Shabbos Kodesh. There's no nights on Shabbos. It was appropriate. Nobody wanted to move for hours. You can't script that. That's a construction called Shabbos. You entered the essence of Shabbos. That's the picture for your own home. What's Shabbos? At your table, everybody's wanted. Everybody's noticed. Everybody's welcome. The gathering of the mishpacha, where every boy, every girl counts and is important and has a place and has a voice and it just matters forever there. That's the essence. That's the pneumius of Beis HaMikdash and the pneumius of Shabbos Kodesh. Rabbi Oberlander for 7 years made Shabbos in the Masifta. I wasn't zeicher to be there. We lived 3 miles away with my family, my kids and I, Manny, Hudi, Yaakov, Maishi. We walked in for Shalosh Shudas. The height of Shabbos, we were zeicher to join. But we joined in middle. And Leil Shabbos Rai Oberlander ran Shabbos for 7 years, the first 7 years of the Masifta. Leil Shabbos, Shabbos day, he ran Shabbos. In his house on Friday night, I was there about 10 to 20 times. Between that, is that fair, Menachem, to say? Between 10 and 20 times I was zeicher to be there. There were guys who were there we used to have. Today it's 1 in, 1 out, sometimes 2 in. Used to be 2 in or 3 in every single time. There was 2 in and 3 in. The normal was 2, sometimes 3. Like we have 1 and 2, that was the system. Friday night in his home was love. His sons were showing card tricks. There was delicious cholent. It's not about what people think, ruchnius. And then there was ava. Love, connection, eternal bonds. Live there Shabbos, and then the chevra would sing Ka'ech Seif. The Ka'ech Seif in his house he loved Shabbos Kodesh Rai Oberlander, and he handed hundreds of people, tens of thousands, because all of those have families. And he handed Shabbos Kodesh to a chevra. In his home was Shabbos. His children, his wife, his kids, his friends, the guys in the yeshiva. Shabbos lived. It was, guys would be in that house for hours on end. It went to 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Shabbos existed. Yeah, Menachem, you were in that house? You were there Friday night. Shabbos lived there. The essence, the thing itself of Shabbos. Not pneim el abayis. The bias, it had the external to house it, but the pneumius was there, the essence. The Mishnah Berurah himself speaks that a husband and wife should chas v'shalom never argue on Shabbos. That's a chilul, that's the deepest chilul of Shabbos. If a husband doesn't see preciousness in his wife, if a wife doesn't see precious in the husband, is the deepest disgrace of Shabbos Kodesh. We were zeicher that Rabbi Oberlander is Zatzal. He valued this beautiful Yid was a Shabbos Yid. He learned the Sefer in Nesiv Shalom. He has a picture of the Nesiv Shalom, a beautiful picture, in his dining room. He learned the Sefer. I didn't know Nesiv Shalom when I was best friends with Rabbi Oberlander. The last couple of years, I've gotten attached to the Sefer, and I like the Sefer a lot. If you know Nesiv Shalom, he brings everything to Shabbos. He's talking about any topic under the sun, B'chinas Shabbos. I don't know if that's where Oberlander got Shabbos from, or because he had Shabbos, he got the Sefer. I don't know. But I know he was attached to Shabbos, and he handed us Shabbos. His friends and his Talmidim, he handed us Shabbos Kodesh. The last few weeks of his life, every single day he'd say to his wife, every day, I heard this from his wife, every day he'd ask, is it Shabbos today? Is it Shabbos? Is it Shabbos? The doctors on Thursday said he has a few hours, prepare, he's leaving in a few hours. He's going to tell him Abba. He didn't leave till Shabbos. And his best friends and his family sang to him as he was leaving, Zmira Shabbos, which is Pasha. They sang with him Zmira Shabbos. That was, they sang to him Zmira Shabbos. He was nifter on Shabbos Kodesh. This is the year of Shabbos. It's Klur in Klal Yisrael. We didn't have shofar this year. We had Shabbos Kodesh. There was no shofar daraisa. There was no netilas lulav midaraisa. We had a zeichel mikdash. No daraisa. We had Shabbos. Am Yisrael was attacked on Shabbos. The whole year we've been pointed to Shabbos Kodesh. A yid who handed us Shabbos was taken from us on Shabbos this year. We've been handed Shabbos. Zelig started in yeshiva. We sing Koach Seif together on Shabbos Kodesh. The Shabbos in yeshiva is different. Another bacher this year, a few years ago, a guy said this. Another bacher was mechaven to the Baal Shem Tov on his own. And the guys are authentic. The last night, you don't hear, it's hard, maybe there might not be a dishonest word the whole night. Fair mo, close to true? Close to true. Hardly a dishonest word the whole night, hardly. Thank you for the exact correction, thank you. Hardly a dishonest word. And the guy said again, he said that he told us in front of the crowd that when he does Erev Shabbos, he didn't know the Baal Shem doesn't, he just knows his neshama feels Shabbos. And he said on Friday he goes on a walk and he says all his problems to Hashem, he gives them, they're yours, I'm going into Shabbos, and I'm hanging with you. A guy had said to us a few years ago that Erev Shabbos he writes to Hashem his problems. He says at Shabbos, I'm coming to you, Hashem. Hashlech el Hashem es yahavcha, I'm throwing you my worries. And this beautiful soul didn't know, just he felt something. And at Erev Shabbos, he says to Hashem, these are my problems. And he gave to Hashem his problems. The Gemara says that somebody's mace Erev Shabbos, the Gemara Ksubis Kuf Yud Aleph Siman Yafalei. It's a good sign to be nifter Erev Shabbos. We don't choose when we depart. Hashem in his kindness says when it's time to go to Olam Haba. So what's this mace Erev Shabbos? A good sign, says the Baal Shem. A Yid Erev Shabbos has to get, Shabbos is Bechina, living with Hashem. Erev Shabbos, give all your problems to Hashem. Tell Hashem these issues. That's mace Erev Shabbos, is a Bechina. A Yid says, I can't control, I try all week, I pretend, we don't control. We're in good hands. I'm in your hands, Hashem. My problems belong to you. A Yid's mace Erev Shabbos. He stops trying to control things. We're in good hands. We're all in very, very good hands. It's a difficult time of parting. And the parting that we started, it's a preda from each other. But we're in very good hands. We all see that we ended up together. It was nifla. We end up with the right friends, the right people. I can't believe Hashem gave us Rabbi Oberlander to start yeshiva. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It makes no sense he's in Waterbury. He's probably the most gifted principal in the country without being megazim. From the fastest growing school in the country, Eichel HaTorah took him as a principal. Probably the most gifted. I don't think it exists. It doesn't speak about the beauty of the person. Gifted. He was good looking. He was very organized and well, just everything done exact. It was put together, well spoken, ridiculous. And Hashem sent him to Waterbury. People would ask. He ran Reim for years. Reim's like every Brooklyn kid. The people, all the black hats, run beautiful Yidden. People said, Rabbi Oberlander from Reim, Waterbury. It's a little Waterbury. Is not the exact same tzura. It's neshamas. It's neshamas. Doesn't have the neshamas are bigger. You can't. It needs a bigger water bottle. Pashut. The smaller water bottles and bigger. To hold such neshamas needs bigger water bottles. So less water, you have a smaller can. Bigger water, you have a bigger can. It needs a bigger can. It's a big can to hold such a zach. Somebody, Rabbi Oberlander was started. He gave it validation. He gave it so much. He built the place, he organized, he changed my life, taught me structure and surah, and it made a big impact on my life. And a lot of the structure we have belongs to him, a lot. And he stayed involved and stayed connected and gave chizuk. He brought Betzalel Mobus for his interview. He brought him there, mamish. He brought him there for his interview. A nes min hashamayim. It's not a believable thing. It's not normal. If you would design the exact person, you were God for a few minutes, and you would form the person who would give the structure for such a holy makom, you'd design him. Hashem sent him. Hashem did it exact. It's a pella. I was talking to Rai Sonnenschein today. We were talking for an hour. We're in the Steinmeim. It's a nes, one of the biggest miracles I ever saw in my life. We said, how did he come from? Where did he come? What is it? What's going on? What happened? It's a Yad Hashem nes min hashamayim. His wife said to my wife yesterday, she said, I felt it was so much. Every Shabbos we were doing our house, I felt it was so much, and I had questions, why so much? She said, I didn't know Hashem's plan. He was leaving a little early. It had to be so much. Had to be. We had no time. We had to do it. She used to wonder, maybe it could be spread out. I have no kashas anymore. Couldn't be spread out. It was 100 years in 45. I want to say that we're in good hands. You and I are in good hands. I want to say we're a Shabbos yeshiva. I feel good that Rav Aryeh Shlita is involved in running the yeshiva as a Shabbos Yid. We now have Leil Shishis next week, Thursday night in Monsey. I'm asking everybody to come. I don't care where you are. Beg the camps. They don't bring the whole camp with you. We're going to gather Leil Shishi, Le'ilui Nishmas, right, Oberlander in Monsey next Thursday. I'm asking every alumnus to come. I'm going to beg men and women. We're going to come. We're going to find the shul, and we'll all, Leil Shishi, we have to gather. We started in yeshivas, and Rav Aryeh gets a lot of credit for the Leil Shishis. Any Pesach into Shabbos. We're a generation that's craving Shabbos. Craving Shabbos Kodesh. Ka'ech soif noyam Shabbos. We crave the sweetness of Shabbos. Hamas emes, that's matim for the Yid. Hamatemes umisachedes, that's so unified. B'skulasech, with Hashem's treasure. Shabbos itself teaches us we're the treasure. We're the Mekadshe Shvi. We're the nation that builds the Mikdash. That's the nation that creates Shabbos, that bonds with Shabbos, that makes Shabbos a reality. The zivug of Shabbos Kodesh. I want to sing with the Chevra. If I could ask just that stanza, if we could sing a couple of times. Pray for our whole nation, the Mekadshe Shvi. V'yurachamecha miskoylam alamcha Yisrael. Give a nice high key. We're not doing the next part of the highest key you can imagine, and a little higher than that. Reb Joey, let's go. A nice high key for it. Let's go.
now